I'm a retired nurse. For fun, I try to spend as much time as I can with my grandsons. I have 3 of them, 21, 18, and 7.
Okay.
I knew nothing about Kratom until my son started consuming. All I knew about it, it was a natural supplement, and he consumed for energy. He was a business owner, owned his own business, and he worked a part-time job for insurance for his 3 boys. He consumed Kratom for about, I want to say, almost 3 years. He lived with me for a few years. This is kind of hard, but I want to say about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 months before he passed away, I witnessed his first grand mal seizure. I did what I had to do, and we called 911. I called 911, and he went to the hospital and did all the tests, CAT scan, MRI, blood work, saw a neurologist, and nothing. The neurologist came back with, because my son worked 50, 60 plus hours a week. So the neurologist said, basically slow down. A couple months later, maybe less than 2 months, he had another one. But I didn't see that one. He was in the garage getting ready for his job for the next day. And it was August 30th of 2020. I had to go away for the weekend out of state. My mom had Alzheimer's. So I had to go to West Virginia to check on her. And that Sunday evening, I got that phone call that no parent ever wants to get, that my son had died. He actually died while watching TV. Just, the medical examiner said he just simply went to sleep. He didn't drink. He didn't use illicit drugs. He wasn't on prescription drugs. He didn't even take Tylenol. The medical examiner called me the next morning. I was on my way home, and I had to actually give him permission to take his brain. They had to rule out seizures because they already had his medical records. They saw nothing. They know no aneurysm, no seizure activity, nothing. No heart attack, there was nothing. All they found in his system was undigested breakfast. The medical examiner said they had to rule out everything. Drug overdose, foul play.
Yeah.
They took his phone and a few other things and the bag of Kratom.
Okay.
But until they ruled out everything else, and then they sent his toxicology to Labs in Pennsylvania. I believe that's one of the top labs that do tests for Kratom. And the medical examiner said a 38-year-old healthy young man should not have died. But the medical examiner also said that they have seen too many instances of this. In going into the quitting Kratom groups and sharing my son's story, I saw the signs with my son, and I didn't see it with him. I didn't. The weight loss, the mood changes, the sleeping, the skin color. I did share my son's reports probably about a year and a half or so ago with them, a certain group. I did, as toxicology. I have nothing to hide. So I asked, what do you need his toxicology report for? We just have to make sure that, that's what he died from, and there was no other drugs in his system, alcohol or whatnot. So I said, okay, I'll send it to you, and I did. You know what they did with it? They took it to make sure he was real, my son. I didn't fake his death. The medical examiner was real. The place of autopsy was real, because the question was, why was his autopsy done in one county and he lived in another? I had to explain it was an unattended death, so he had to go to a forensics in another county. I live in Oneida, so he had to go to Onondaga in a secured location. Because I was told I made up his death. My son didn't exist. They've told me that you better check your son's Facebook. He's part of the American Kratom Association. He has a friend here. When you were gone, he actually left to go shoot up. I truly believe deep in my heart, if my son knew what he was consuming, he wouldn't have. My son had too much to live for. His boys, his mother, life. He was happy. He was a ball-busting, happy-go-lucky kid. He would tell you to have a nice day, he would never get in an argument with anybody. Especially with his business, if somebody got into with him, he would just tell them, have a nice day. And I miss him. It's just every day. 3 years later, I just miss him. The last one that was just off this world is one I put in the group, the screenshot, and, go kill myself. And it's just, they're horrible, horrible people. Yeah. I'm not saying they all are,